All right, folks. Here's a new incentive program. Actually, it came out about 3 years ago, but we've done a few changes to it, so I'm just going to roll it back out again. I'm not sure everybody got a hold of this, but I'm going to send it out to everybody now. So this is an hourly rate plus an efficiency bonus opportunity plan. So the more efficient a technician is, the more money they can make. And it's an hourly rate program. So just going through the setup over here, on the right hand side, so put in an hourly base, I'll put in $30 an hour. And then what you want your labor to come in as a percentage of sale. This is good for HVAC or plumbing. I'm going to use an HVAC demonstration. This portion down here is primarily for the HVAC, but you might be able to use it for something for plumbing as well. Talk to your business coach about that. So I'm going to use $30 an hour, and then I'm going to look at what I want labor to be before burden. Now, understand that burden is about 20% of the cost added to the before burden piece. So if I'm looking for about a 31% labor in HVAC service, then I'm going to plug this thing in at about 26%. Because if I add 20% of this, that's going to be 5.2 onto 26, it gives me 31.2. So close enough. All right, I'm going to put a 26% burden in here. Material percentage, when I look at my P&L, what's my material percentage look like? I'm going to put in 15% here for HVAC, and then a scale up bonus. This ties into this over here. So right now, at $30 an hour, 54.29.86 is going to be the starting point for labor to come in at 26% of sale. Okay, so I'm going to scale that up. I'm going to just say a half a point. I don't know if that's half. Oh no, I'm sorry. Scale up bonus. I'm going to scale it up $500. Okay, and then I'm going to scale it up a half a point. The scale up portion. Oh, that's 50%. 0.005. All right, so there's a half a point. So what happened here is you can see this bonus scale now jumping from 45 to 54 to 59 to 64 to 69, and then the scale up is a half a percent, 26, 26.5, 27.75. If you wanted that to be $1,000, you could put in $1,000 here. If you wanted this to be a 1%, then you could put in 1% here, and it'll scale up 1%. Okay, so I'll just leave it at 1% right now. All right, so that's the setup portion of it. Okay, so basically the weekly sales to hit a bonus, they have to be above this figure, this 54.29.86. All right, so just this, you got to put this piece in here. So I'm going to use a tester. This is Jack Tester's dog. Probably not, but that's what I'm going to call it. All right, hourly rate. So I'm going to say, okay, this guy gets paid $30. And worked hours. So this week he worked 40 hours. All right, so basically he's going to get $1,200 whether he sells anything or not, because I'm paying him hourly, right? And so if he sells 54.29.86, he's still going to get just the $1,200 because he has to surpass this benchmark to hit the next level. So if he did a penny more, 87, then he hits a bonus of $1,400. So his total pay would be $1,471. So $1,200 here and $211.77. That gives you the $1,411.77. So that's his bonus for knocking that in, and that's going to bring his bonus to 26% of the sale. Okay, and that's what we want it to be at this point right here, is 26% of the sale. Still want it to be at that point. Now, if he does more than that, let's say he bumps it up to the 6 portion here, the 6,000, then you'll see he's going to be at 27% of the sale, and that's where he's at here. He's at this bonus level. Okay, so as they do more, they can earn more of a bonus. Still got the base down here at 1,200. Okay, so now let's put him back here to 54.29.86. Okay, is that 12%? And if he works overtime, say he works 5 hours overtime, This calculates his overtime. $30 an hour, $45 gives him overtime. This is his pay. Total pay down there with the overtime. Okay? Now, let's say he has a spiff included in that. Let's say he has some after-hour spiffs and he earns $50 in the after-hour spiffs. I want you to see what happens to the overtime here. Overtime is now adjusted because of his new base pay. That $50 has to be part of his new base pay, so now it is. And so it adjusts his overtime pay to that. And that's just to keep you compliant. All right? So let's say 32 hours here. Let's take this off here and let's put in 8 hours PTO. So let's get 8 hours PTO. Oh, take the $50 off of here. All right. Oh, and I got to take the bonus level down because here's what happened. See, the sales are at 54, but because he only worked 32, he's in this PTO adjusted portion. So his new target here, because he only worked 4 days, is 43.89, and he did 54.29.86, which is this one right here. But that would have been if he worked 40 hours. So in 4 days, he did well. So he's going to earn a bonus for that portion now, right? And that's his bonus amount right here. Total pay is going to be this. This 960 plus this is going to be that portion right there. So it's 1426. Okay, this 1426 is the 960 in this. That's going to give him the top portion. Then he's going to get his paid time off, and that's going to give him 1700. So this PTO is this piece up here. Okay, $30 times 8, 24. And that's how the numbers spell out because of PTO. But he's at the 27% incentive range here because here's 27% at 51, and he did 54 on 4 hours. I want you to know that it does adjust them when they're on 4 hours. So now if he had overtime in this too, okay, that's going to add to the equation. That's going to change his overtime base. All right? Because you have 32 hours and 8, that is your first 40. And then everything after that is going to be overtime. Right? You can't have 40 hours up here and 8 hours PTO. Right? Because he basically had 8 hours of overtime somewhere. So anyways, that's just keep that copacetic, and all the math kind of lays out here for you. All right? And then to top it off, let's say he's got spiffs, and that's going to change his overtime rate again. If you got spiffs on it, let's say he had some after hours spiffs at $50. That changed his overtime rate. So all of this changes his overtime rate. And then you come down here and you say, okay, we're going to pay $150 for a full system. We're going to pay $75 for a half system. And I coach my members to make it a dollar amount for a full system and a dollar amount for a half system. And here's my reasonings behind that. If a technician goes out and turns over a lead, and the salesman sells it, he knows he's going to make $150 if he sells a full system. If he's going to get 2% or whatever you pay him, he doesn't know what he's going to get because he doesn't know what the salesman sold. You know, he knows what the salesman sold, but he doesn't know what he came in at. So he doesn't know what it is. So I want my technicians not to be confused and be wondering, what did I make on commission? I want them to know exactly what they're making. So I want them to make a dollar amount. That's what I coach to do. So you come down here and you put in Jones, that customer, and they sold a full system, and now he gets $150. Okay, now that $150 again, where'd it go? It's tied in right here. And that's in this portion of the weekly pay. And it changed his hourly rate again. His bonus amount for overtime from $37.32 to 1 here, and this is all done legally, so it's by the book. You got to follow these rules. Unless you're in California, then it's a little bit more difficult, but we have a California plan too for anybody California members out there. All right. So that is pretty much. Oh, and then have the technician sign it, print this off, give it to him, sign, keep yourself a copy. But you need a signed copy of everybody's payroll, so have them sign it here. And I believe those are the steps. Okay, so the more they sell, the more they make. And if they don't work the PTO, 40 hours. Boom. There it is. Now what happens if they don't work the 40 hours? Just to show you that, if they use 8 hours of PTO here, I want you to look at the bottom 1710. If they put in 8 hours of PTO, they get more credit, okay, for this sales right here. Plus they get paid the PTO hours. So we don't allow that to happen. So we take that off. So they can't scale the system. Now if you've got a guy that's, you know, I'll take this to an extreme. He works 1 hour. You know, he's gonna make $1,700 in 1 hour. You might have a conversation with the guy that, hey, I need you for more than 1 hour, okay? I need you here 5 days a week. That was just an extreme situation. Have that conversation with him at that time, okay? All right, so based off of this, I believe that is all I have left to throw out there. Go ahead and play with it. It's a great program. We have a member that tested this for us, beta tested this for us. Corty does it all. Kevin Kratzman and Ray Abbott. This was done probably 5 years ago. They started testing this, 5, maybe even 6. And this has been out for about 4 years. They tested it for a good 2 years for us before we rolled it out. So it's been out for 4 years, but we kind of gave it a facelift and done another tutorial with it too. Because this is a new column that we didn't have in before, and we had questions about this all the time. So just want to make sure we handled everybody's questions and made it clear for everybody to understand. Okay? So go from there. If you got any questions at all, please contact myself. I'm going to put a tutorial link up here after I get done finishing this video. I'll put a tutorial link so you'll know how to fill this out. Or anybody has questions on your management team, they can fill it out as well. Okay, thank you.